So my name's Scott Clark. I'm the president of Douglas Company here in Keene, New Hampshire, and we are a manufacturer of stuffed toys. So we make stuffed animals of all different kinds of things, dogs, cats, things like that, and we design them here in Keene, right? We have a design staff here that designs every product we make, and then we send that to different factories overseas to have that made. We're manufacturing one of everything, right? Because we actually sew a toy upstairs like this.
Yep.
We'll sew this toy upstairs, and then we'll put the specs together about the toy, saying make it like this, right? And we send this and the spec package to the factory overseas, and then they open it up and say, oh, we see what it should look like, right? And they manufacture to our specs. My family started this company back in 1957. My mom and dad moved here. They answered an ad in the Wall Street Journal that said, come help us run a toy company. And so they flew here and they bought half this company, and they bought a house on Blossom Street here in Keene in the same week. So it was a pretty exciting week for them. And so our family's been here forever. My mom and dad were a great part of running this company, and my mother was the original designer. She learned how to design toys. And so, and we manufactured here in Keene, so we have an understanding of manufacturing, right? And we learned how to be manufacturers here. We manufactured here from 57 into the mid-1980s, right? So what happened in the world is that everybody else had gone to China and to make their toys, and our toys, we were one of the last companies here in the United States still making stuffed animals. And we tried everything we could do to still manufacture here in the U.S., but our prices were just too high. We were paying people, just a much higher wage than what was being paid in the factories overseas. So we just couldn't compete anymore. So instead of going out of business, we learned how to become an importer.
You mentioned that your products are outsourced in China. Your manufacturing is in China partially.
It's partially in China, partially in Indonesia, and partially in Vietnam. Mm-hmm.
And so as of late, there have been tariffs put into place?
On all these countries, yes.
So what is the biggest setback you've found after those have been put in place? After those tariffs, is there a country that is way worse than another? Is it much more expensive? Do you have to compromise your products? What do you have to do to...
No, you're not changing your product, but your margin is different. Okay, so in China, the tariff started off at 145%, and that was when this was initially announced in April, and that just made importing from China impossible. You just couldn't do it, right? So we just stopped our production in China at that point, and kept the other countries going. Then it was 10%, then it was 20%, and currently the rate is 20% in Indonesia and Vietnam and 30% in China. So those are the tariffs we're currently paying on every container of goods that comes into the United States. This dog might cost $5 overseas, right? And so when that comes into the United States, on the commercial invoice it says $5 for the Border Collie, and then we're going to pay 20% of that, so we're going to pay $1 immediately right to the government. We send it. The government takes that right out of our bank account. So every container coming in, small business in America is paying that tariff. China's not paying it. The factory's not paying it in Asia. We're paying it on the product that's coming into the United States. We've been in the toy industry and the gift industry, so we sell to mom and pop toy shops all around America. Okay, so those stores are having the same problem, that their prices are going up because all the different companies, people who make puzzles, people who make games, people who make all these products, but they're all imported from overseas. So Lego and Mattel, you heard about Mattel, where the president said, hey, why don't you're just going to have to raise the price, and people won't be able to afford toys as much as they could in the past. But this is what's happening to the small retailer, that they're having to deal with this as well, trying to figure out how to sell their products in an ever-changing market. and that makes it difficult to know how to price your products, how to sell your products, what the customer will bear, and what's fair to everybody involved. So here's what we did, is that we put in a 5% price increase to our customers to try to absorb some of the tariff, and then we absorbed the rest. So what's different about this year and last year is that our margin is less, and they're putting a tax on your business. And that's the challenge for everybody in the toy and gift industry today, and everybody who's a small business in America trying to import products, because the world went this way, that it was an open world, and now we're having a little bit of trouble with that. We're very lucky that our business, our sales are still good, and we're doing fine. But this is what's happened to many of our friends in the toy and gift industry, is some of them have gone out of business. They've just closed their business. This is a product I really love. This is called Chicken in Pants. There you go.
Wow.
Pretty extraordinary.
Chicken in
huh?
pants. Where'd the name come from?
Just fun. This is a dancing cockroach.
Oh.
Right. A little bit of a bookworm. This is reading. Look what he's reading. He's reading Worms in STEM.
Wow.
Right. There we go.
Worms in